I think everyone is aware that the first question they are likely to be asked, whether you're beginning the MarTech journey or expanding your capabilities, is how much is this going to cost? Sounds great, but what do I have to write the check for? And the second is likely to be, how much is it going to make the company? What's the return on investment? Unfortunately, these are also a set of questions that are not necessarily easy for most companies to answer. At times, they can seem as complex as the software itself. Intuitively, I think everyone is aware that return on investment is the most important factor. If you can confidently let your boss or your board of directors know that every dollar spent on a solution is going to generate $2 in return, everyone but the most short-sighted executives are going to be happy to invest. Return on investment for any marketing-related function is unfortunately not an easy thing for most companies to measure. The problem is it's very difficult to say what a customer is actually worth over time. In reality, they simply aren't. Certainly, the check or digital wire transfer your company makes to Kentico or another provider and your implementation partner, hopefully core competence, are certainly going to be top of mind and figures that your CFO is going to be well aware of. But most companies, in our experience at least, do not adequately capture the internal staff time to support these systems, particularly after launch. When it comes to web technologies and marketing technology in general, I've always found this pretty strange because over time, this is where the majority of your costs are likely to accumulate. And it's also where small differences can end up producing big results. If you have a website with a blog that's updated 3 times per week for a total of 150 times per year, and it takes about a half hour to update that blog post and post it to your social channels or other channels that you market on, you're looking at spending about 75 hours per year on that task alone. But if a new platform that's better integrated with these channels cuts that time in half, you're down to 37.5 hours and you're freeing up almost a week of staff time per year that can be spent on much more valuable initiatives. Email marketing in particular, in our experience, frequently requires users to download lists, manipulate them somehow, maybe in Microsoft Excel, and then upload them into another platform, resolve any errors there. If you can eliminate that process, you can likely send more emails and be more effective, but you can also greatly impact your total cost of ownership. We found reporting to be similar to email marketing in the sense that there's a lot of extraction and manipulation and then distribution, or anything that can be done by a department that is closer to the need, plus any other opportunities for automation. All of these can have a significant effect on your total cost of ownership if you are accurately measuring the time. Regarding your return on investment in particular, it might not be easy, much like content personalization and the customer journeys themselves. That doesn't mean that you can't make significant progress if you choose to start somewhere and commit to tracking key metrics. Even if you cannot get to a true ROI, it is relatively straightforward to pick some key performance indicators that are important for your business, things like brand recognition, overall web traffic, downloads of assets, and so on, that can directly relate to ROI over time. It may be correlation and not causation, but by tracking these metrics and comparing them to your sales, you can begin to measure the changes of both and tease out valuable information that is going to guide your future strategies. Ultimately, every organization is going to have their own unique needs, but I think we can all expect that there will be a few parallels regardless of your particular corporate profile or the industry. As we saw earlier when companies were scaling back their MarTech investments, in regards to underutilization, lower cost of ownership automatically results in higher ROI, unless you're cutting off your nose to spite your face. In other words, those lower costs are a good thing if they come with the same or similar capabilities and allow you to pursue the strategies that you need. Likewise, or conversely, more systems generally cost more money, and not only in the licensing. We tend to use the phrase technical debt to describe the various upkeep that is required to keep disparate systems exchanging data and working smoothly together. This can accrue, especially if you pursue the best of breed strategy, but whatever you do, it's important not to give up. Make sure you're putting a plan in place to better capture both your spend and the return. As we noted on the last slide, the changes over time alone will prove invaluable, helping you understand what works and what doesn't, even if you can't put a figure down to the last penny on it.